Hello, everyone. I'm Chidinma. Let me ask you this. What's the most exciting moment for an agricultural exporter? For many, it's receiving that first international purchase order. You've attended the trade fairs, you've negotiated the price, and the buyer has said yes. But here is the hard truth we need to talk about today. Finding the buyer is just the starting gun. The real marathon begins after the contract is signed. Today, we are diving into a groundbreaking new framework that reveals why so many export deals collapse after the very first shipment, and how you can build an export-ready supply chain that international buyers actually trust. Picture this. A Kenyan farm secures a massive contract to supply avocados and French beans to a buyer in the Netherlands. The quality of the fruit is perfect, but when the shipment arrives, it's rejected. Why? Not because of the produce, but because of the paperwork and the process. They had incomplete pesticide spray records, broken cold chain logs, and no way to trace the pallets back to specific harvest dates. This is what we call the readiness gap. International buyers in the EU, North America, and China are no longer just buying your crop. They are auditing your entire operational ecosystem. If you are an undocumented exporter in today's market, you are systematically excluded, no matter how good your product tastes. And the stakes are getting higher as we enter 2026 and 2027. We are facing a regulatory tsunami. The EU's Deforestation Regulation, or EUDR, now demands precise plot-level GPS mapping for commodities like coffee, cocoa, and soy. If you can't prove your crop didn't come from deforested land, you lose access to the European market entirely. Meanwhile, the US FDA's new traceability rules are demanding lot-level tracking for high-risk foods. This isn't just red tape, it's a massive sorting mechanism. The exporters who digitize their traceability and master compliance will thrive, while those relying on paper records will be left behind. So, how do you survive and win? Our latest article outlines the 5-pillar framework for export readiness. Pillar 1 is production planning, using contract farming and forward booking to guarantee volume. Pillar 2 is quality management, moving beyond visual checks to auditable digital safety systems. Pillar 3 is traceability, mapping every single smallholder farm to meet EUDR standards. Pillar 4 is logistics, protecting your margins with unbroken cold chains. Because a refrigerated container keeps cold produce cold, it doesn't cool down hot produce. And Pillar 5 is digital communication, speaking the data-driven language of modern procurement officers. Now, I know this sounds daunting, especially for smallholder-dominated supply chains in Africa and Asia, but with challenge comes massive opportunity. In May 2026, China is implementing a zero-tariff policy for 53 African nations. The African Continental Free Trade Area is opening up intra-regional wealth. If you build your supply chain to meet the strict standards of Europe, you will effortlessly dominate these emerging high-growth markets. You transition from being a commodity seller to a premium strategic partner. We've put together a comprehensive guide, including a highly practical commodity-specific compliance checklist for maize, soybean, cassava, sesame, cocoa, coffee, rice, crude and refined vegetable oil. Don't let your next shipment be rejected at the border. Deco Group supplies cassava starch in both food-grade and industrial-grade specifications, as well as crude and refined vegetable oils, including soybean oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, corn oil, and palm oil, to importers and manufacturers worldwide. Built on a commitment to quality, consistency, and high-volume trade, we serve industrial buyers who value reliable sourcing and competitive supply. Thank you for your attention.